Welcome back to the Tracie Trendy Show, my lovelies. Let's get down to this low down dirt. We got a lot of scrubbing to do this episode. A lot of scrubbing. We got a lot of birds just making a lot of droppings everywhere. And let's look at our agenda. I took copious notes, so I want to cover every detail as much as possible. It's a lot of dirt, okay? So I might have to come back and scrub some more. But in the meantime, let's talk about Chance and Taylor. I need someone to release the air from Taylor's head. Please, somebody release the air. This woman has been single for a long time and she's been managing her own household finances. Suddenly, Chance come in the picture and Taylor releases a lot of responsibility. Financial, gives it over, hands it over to Chance. And then she's wondering what's going on. I'm gonna find out. I'm like, why don't you go online and check for yourself? Everything is on the line. If you don't know what he's doing, it could be your house on the line. So you need to go check and look what is going down. Why don't you do that, Taylor? And then let's talk about how inappropriate Chance was. The girls are all climbing over him, except that oldest one. She kind of like wants to distance herself. And if I were Taylor, I'll be more focused on my daughters if I were her. Okay. So anyway, Chance is talking about strip clubs around the girls to his son. One of his sons, here's some tea. He has more kids. He has at least another child out there that's an adult that he was not a father to. So Ethan's there and he says, no, I don't want to go to a strip club. So anyway, Ethan mentions that he has a savings account, even though he doesn't really have a handle on his spending. But Ethan, I'm telling you, you shouldn't have mentioned that to Chance because he might want to tap into that savings account. And then when Taylor tries to step to Chance, he tells her, we're not married. You can't say anything to me about anything. And at that point, I wanted her to say, yes, we are not married. Since we are not married, I wanted her to say, you have no say out of my house. You have no say in this house, and you need to get to stepping. Okay? Now, if that was Chance's house, and Chance had his brother or somebody he cared about in the house, he wouldn't have booted them out. Taylor did. She booted Bobby out. So she should have said, "You can get to stepping too. You don't own this house. You can get going too." But in the meantime, Taylor continues to be a 4x3. Another 4x3 I like to talk about is Justine and Mike. The kids are like just old toys that nobody wants to play with. Not all the time. Okay, I know she loves her kids, but I mean, one of the boys is on the spectrum. And when Mike tried to hug him, the boy kicked at him. That is not appropriate. And you just can't excuse it away just because the child has a disability. You need to just, if Justine was a knowledgeable parent, had some knowledge about the disorder, stop tracing over these men, going from state to state and just trying to, do some research about your child's disability, you would say, not let that man say he's going to unleash his wrath on him, but just have Santana learn to use his words. If he does not want to be hugged or kissed or whatever, say, no, thank you. I don't want to be hugged. Use his words, not his feet. So that's some things that she should have been teaching that boy. That boy's 14 years old, but he acts a little immature, and Justine needs to get involved more with that child, more than what she's doing. And then they talk about this baby being matchy because she mentioned it on her IG, and I said that before in another video, how the baby's going to be matchy, and some of the followers came down on Justine about that. Because what are the other kind of kids going to look like? Step kids? Because you three are going to be matching the baby and the mommy and the daddy, and the other kids are going to look like whatever. So they mentioned it again on this show. And I told you, they were moving. I told you a month ago, they have moved already to Vegas. Now, let's look at the timeline, love. So I don't have an exact timeline, but I got a decent enough timeline. Everything started in Rhode Island. Justine worked with Mike's mom in Rhode Island. Mike's mom told Justine about Mike, who is in prison in Pennsylvania. So what does Justine do? She takes her kids and moves to Pennsylvania, so her visits will be a shorter distance, closer to Mike, even though he's in prison. Couldn't she have just stayed where her support system is in Rhode Island and take the hike? Why you got to make everybody else uncomfortable because you want to chase some tail? So anyway, now that Mike is out, they're going to make another movie to Vegas. Even though they said this is just a place mark, Pennsylvania was just a place mark. If it was just a place mark, they could have stayed in Rhode Island. It's not having these movements. And the oldest daughter wanted to make sure she was graduating. They said, yeah, you get to graduate. But the other kids, especially the one on the spectrum, it's too much change. And you're not doing enough with him, with his behavior. You're just moving around and shuffling and catering up to Mike. Mike wants to move it. And how are you going to be all this moving and building a house or buying a house when none of you guys are working? Just want to know that. So you're all currently in Nevada. Mike is supposed to be this great person, but he's abandoning another family, whole host of other kids. So he can do that to his own blood. Best believe he gonna do it to Justine and those kids. And the one that they got. Just like an old shoe, that's what Justine will be in a while. In a while. Just saying. I mean, if you got a pattern of leaving like that, no hesitation, just for some career that you could possibly pursue. It's probably take you longer, but you possibly could pursue it being in close proximity to your children. Or at least say, I'm going to go in 2 months out of the year and try to pursue this, not move permanently. I just don't get it. Hopefully, Santana will survive Michael's wrath. Now, Sean and Sarah had this awkward kiss. But I want to know, who put some Rogaine on that baby's head? I know it was editing, my loves, but it was kind of interesting. Yeah. So moving on to that, let's talk about Puppy and Amber. I'm glad to see Queen got a little glow up, and as well as Puppy's mom got a glow up. Very good. And Puppy's mom looks healthy. I know she was experiencing some health issues, but appearance, I hope her appearance kind of displays what she feels because she looks healthy. She looks healthy, much better than what she looked previously. Now, Poppy must be experiencing some buyer's remorse. Because remember, Poppy was the side piece, the mistress. She knew this man had a wife, but she shacked up with him. Now she is the main squeeze and she wants out. But she only wants out when she finds out he is screwing his ex-wife. That's what we can see. Puppy acts so sad, you wonder if there's something else going down. You kind of wonder, is there something else? But she's always been that way before the cheating, cheaterization. So she was acting sad before that. So now that you know he's cheating, she still has that soul, that tortured soul look. But why can't you hatch a plan? Come on, hatch a plan to leave him. She can call Uber production, drive you over to your mama's house so you can raise your little girl. Raise your little girl. Go ahead. Your mama's doing all this raising, and then your mama's glowing up. Besides, she raising your child, and you need to go help her and stop being under this man's beck and call. Now, moving on to Monique and Derek. I know I did a video about them, but the more I see the fight, the more I change my mind. So I think the fight was all over the place. And I keep looking at it, I'm seeing Monique hitting her sister in the head. I'm like, Monique, you got to aim for a target, not your own target. I mean, not the enemy's target. So that was going on too. And I was like, but my whole opinion about the fight now is that I think it was a little staged. Everybody was doing open hand, little hair pulling, but open hand. Derek was trying to break up the fight between Aubriana and Monique's sister. But then, yeah, I think it was all pretty much two fell on the ground. Monique's sister and Derek fell on the ground. And some people were saying, well, that's a man, and da, 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 da. As I said, now I'm not going to even answer all those posts because I really think it was all staged. I think it was. But in the meantime, in the between time, love, let me do a count of who are the winners, the cons or the non-cons of episodes. So let me look at my notes. Let's start off with you know what? Let's start off with Chance and Taylor. I think Chance gets a point for the cons. He wins because Taylor is got too much air in her head. He continues to win. Justine and Mike. Mike wins one for the non-cons because he gets his way. Sean and Sarah. Sarah, she's getting some new boobs and baby got some new hair. Puppy and Amber. I should say Puppy and Eric. I will say Eric wins for the non-cons. Amber's Sugar Bear wasn't on the show this episode, so he looks like Sugar Bear too. So no, he was not on the show. So anyway, Monique and Derek, who wins the fight? I'm going to give that. Who wins non-cons or cons? I'm going to give it to Derek because while that fight was going on, he probably stepped out to cheat on Monique. Okay, because where was he? He only appeared a little bit in the video. Okay, with the fighting. That's what I'm going to say. Derek wins. Okay, because he just took a little cheaterization moment. So there you have it, my loves. What do you think about that? You know what you got to do. First, subscribe if you were sipping. Okay? I might have some more tea on Monique. Okay? I have some more. Some of you lovelies sent me something. I don't know if I can't verify it. It's good. But anyway, my loves, subscribe. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell because that's really important because then you'll get the alerts when the tea pours. Drop a line below because you know what? It may not be verified, but people be dropping some teas down in those comment sections, my loves, as well as share and care and like, and if you dare. Okay, my loves, I will check you all out on the flip side. In the meantime, love, peace, and some sweet tea.